Hold on. There we are. Thank you guys for joining. This is Laura Miller of Sheen Magazine here with Bruce Garrick and Ms. Dionne Warwick. Just in case you missed what I just said, I say over 100 million records sold. One of the, I think, the second most charted female artists of all time. One of my favorite Sagittarius is.
That's me.
And her wonderful colleague, and we're going to talk about their organization and the business that they've started together and the wonderful work they do, in addition to her wonderful career, etc. So thank you guys for joining us today via whichever platform you're streaming on. Okay, you guys. So design. The W6 Design Lab is the name of your company, correct?
No.
WD.
WD? So
G as in Garrick.
WG. Sorry,
Yeah.
WG Design
Labs.
See, you guys. And that's how you know the interview is going to be good, because I already started making mistakes. But
that's a good sign.
Yeah. You just get that out, and then then it turns into a normal conversation now.
Exactly. Everything else goes smoothly.
Yeah. So can you guys tell me about your design company and how you got started?
Yeah. You want to tell them, Bruce?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been doing design, I don't know, I think since I was born, actually. And I became a business partner with Robert Swarovski, and we became Robert Swarovski and Associates, and he was going to a party with the lady that worked for us. Yeah, it's a really cool party. And he met Dionne, and he talked about interior design, and she said, I love interior design. And he said, I want to introduce you to Bruce. I think you're going to get along. So he came back and he said, guess who I met? Dionne Warwick. And you guys are going to hit it off. Why don't we think about doing something with her? So she came over and to the house, and we hit it off, just absolutely hit it off. We've been friends ever since.
Nice.
And yeah, and it's fabulous. We're just like soulmates, or we think alike, and we designs just flow when we get together, and creating people's what it is. So we've been doing it for 30 years, and then we took a break because of certain things that happened in both of our lives, and now we're back at it. Yeah. So that's how I know Dionne.
That's how we got started.
It all started at a party. Isn't that how
it all started? Exactly. It's still a party.
Well, pre-COVID, of course, wonderful things happened at parties, right?
Yep.
At all parties. Yeah.
So as it relates to the design company, what type of interiors are you guys designing? Are you doing grand scale designs? Is it more homes, suites, offices? What kind of work are you guys doing?
We do everything, we try not to limit ourselves. We do homes, we do commercial projects, we do trains, boats, planes, anything that needs an interior, we do. And it's a process of what we do, basically, because we believe that we don't walk in and tell you how you're going to live. We want you to tell us how you want to live. And that being that we do what is called a client analysis, which gives us an indication as to what you like and what you don't like, the colors you want, the colors you don't want, the textures that you like and can handle, well, what you can't handle. Those kinds of things are very, very important. And we take your lead. Most of the people that we will do work for will say, I don't know what I want. And yes, you do. You really do know what you want. Mm-hmm. And the client analysis is what brings all of that out, so that we understand the client has to live with this. We don't live there.
Exactly.
The person will.
As soon as we leave, it's that they have to live with it.
That's right.
If I told you guys that I wanted my house to look like a casino,
Like a what?
Because the
Well-
Sagittarius in me would say something absurd like that. Like, I would like my house to look like a slot machine.
A slot machine. If that's what you want, that's what you'll get.
I want to know where do you put the quarters?
Oh no, see, the quarters are like reminiscent of the color palette, right? So in theory, I don't necessarily want a casino house, but I want casino colors and that whole dark, rich red and the thing. But
Yeah.
then also, my husband hates red. How would you
Right.
guys advise that for me?
Don't use red.
No, I
Just
wouldn't
leave it
say
out.
that. I would say that we do is we kind of make a compromise going on.
Mm.
You happen to like red, so we'll give you a place that says red,
Mm-hmm.
and your husband will have the colors that he likes for him. So
Right.
it's a compromise that has to be
Yeah,
made there.
yeah. There's ways to do it, you know.
Love
Even
that.
if it's like an accent color, like a red, you know, in smaller versions. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's awesome. So as far as your client list is anybody, how are people welcome to hire you guys? Is it more complicated during quarantine or you guys still
No.
able to do
Oh
your
yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. But that's what the website is for. Go to www.wgdesignlabs and be sure to put the S on the end of labs, and it'll take you into showing you what we do and how we do it. It gives you our biographies. It gives you interests. It gives you everything that you need to know about us, and then gives you an opportunity to let us know about you.
I love that. That's perfect. So there's like probably like an assessment guide that you'd be asking
Yes.
people to fill out. I love that. You guys are so thorough. And I didn't even know you could do those assessments with interior design, but it makes so much sense because it's basically internal fashion.
Exactly. That's
So
what
that's
it is.
cool. I love
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So as far as you, Bruce, I want you to say, because I have some questions and I'm sure you know all the answers about Miss Dion, but
Oh.
you never know. So first things
Give me
first.
1 second. I'm going to disappear for just 2 seconds. I have to
Sure thing.
get to the door. 1 second. Be right back.
Sure thing. But that's really cool. I definitely want to get an assessment done.
Yeah. You know, kind of with Zooming, you can like get to know the client, do
Mm-hmm.
a client analysis. The client can send pictures, okay, of what you like and what you don't like, so we
Mhm.
get an idea. Then we get a floor plan, or if not that, at least we can come up with some conceptuals, you see. But at one point in time, you have to get together, you know. But I think that's how we're going to do it for the next year or so, you know, just Zooming, I would guess, you know. I don't think it'll be
Yeah.
much of a problem, you know.
Right. Exactly. You know,
Until March.
I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome
We're
back. No,
talking
that's okay.
about
Hopefully
doing,
until at least March, we can like, it's my hope that we can have some sense of normalcy by March.
Oh, I certainly hope so too. You know, it's like everything else. I have personally, because my industry has been completely devastated. I mean, completely. And I just kind of resigned myself. First of all, I must say, 7 months is a long period of time to be off the road.
It is.
But I have likened it into a vacation, something I've never had in these 57 years I've been in
A
this
very
industry.
glamorous thing.
I know, truly, I have gotten to know my house. My bed didn't reject me.
Yeah.
Because it didn't know who's laying in my bed, you know.
Mhm.
And it's a pleasure to be in my own self bed. It's a pleasure to walk through the rooms here and see the things that maybe I want to do this next, you know, kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
enjoying myself and relaxing for a change and not having to run through an airport to get on a plane at 7 o'clock in the morning. This has been a joy, really, it has for me. It's given me a period of time to rest.
If anybody needed a break,
You know, I'll tell you
7
something. I
years
used
is
to
a
say,
really long time.
I used to tell people, they said, when do you rest? I said, that's just another four-letter dirty word. You know, it's just something I never had an opportunity to do But now I
Yeah.
do. It's great.
I wonder though, is that like a part of your personality? Yes, you chose the entertainment industry, but I think I read somewhere that you were going to school and like recording at the same time. Were you in
Yeah, I was
college?
doing. Yeah, you know what I was doing? I was in college, and I would go from Connecticut back to New York to do demonstration records and background work, and
Mm-hmm.
earning money to supplement my college education. So, that was primary with me. I intend to teach. Music education is my major, piano was my minor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something I happen to love. So everything evolved around music. I grew up in a musical family,
Mm-hmm.
so music has always been a part of my life.
You did grow up in probably one of the most musical families ever.
I think so too.
And
I
it's
do.
it's insane because I've had the luxury in quarantine, and I think I probably wouldn't have had it in any other instance where I have interviewed Winans and Jacksons, and I'm
Yeah.
always gushing about their family lineage, but yours,
Yeah,
it,
everybody in my family sang.
it comes with a vocal purity, I think. Like, I think you, Whitney, Leontine, Sissy, everybody had like Dee Dee, everybody had a purity of sound that I think is so eclectic and important, and
Hmm.
also not very common right now, but we're going to keep that positive.
So, yeah, well,
But all of the voices, though, were uniquely different. Like for you, what do you think the similarities were, other than bloodline that you guys were related?
I think it's just a matter of I think we all sounded basically alike. Um, Different ways of utilizing our voices
Hmm.
had a lot to do with the sound that came out of the vocal cords here. But aside from that, the blend was there. It's a family affair. And it's the same gift that God gave me, gave everybody else in the family, which I'm so pleased to be able to say.
I had to mute because it looks like they decided to mow the lawn today.
That's right.
But that's so true, and I wonder. I love that. Also, I want to go back to the versus battle from the other day,
Oh, yeah.
and I have to tell you that when you showed up, I literally cried. I told my husband, I said, I can't take it. It's too much. I can't do Patty, Dion, and Gladys at the same time. I'm going to fall out. He was like giving me a fan. He was like, "Hey, you gotta relax." I was like, "No, I can't relax." How was that experience for you?
Oh, it was wonderful. I was a surprise. So it really worked out very well. I had a wonderful time sitting in the dressing room that they had provided for me, watching the two of them and listening to the wonderful, wonderful words that they were giving in the way of advice, in the way of experience, things that our babies today really needed to listen to. I hope they were watching. There's some very, very moving moments too. And of course, like I said, when I walked out there, they sang their faces off. Kind of. Those two women are amazing. Okay,
Oh
the
no,
joy to know them
your
and to
face.
see.
You also sung your face very smooth. It was like you glided into the room. That's the surprise happened. You like glided in, and I was like, ah, sounded like, we can't. It felt like that.
Yeah, well, everybody loved it. I got so many. I mean, my phone would never stop ringing. Dear, we didn't know you were gone. I know you didn't. Nobody knew I was, including those two ladies.
And you mentioned that it was important. Were you hoping that the younger generation like got some benefits from the jewels and the knowledge that the ladies shared? What do you
Absolutely.
think? I mean, yes, we have a lot to learn and a difficulty to listen a lot of times,
Yes.
which kind of stinks. But like as far as your career and longevity, like I think now, even the can you guys hear me okay? I can
Yeah.
move. Okay. Even the longevity of your career, I think success is it's different now. I think success now for a recording artist is maybe two singles per album, and
Well,
maybe an average of like say they have 10 albums. These people are completing 10 albums in like 4 years. Like it's insane.
I know it is really, but I tell you, it has a lot to do. I can't blame the artists, these babies. They are being basically guided by those who are in it for that big dollar bill. Okay, and it's so amazing when you meet these babies. I know for me it is anyway. And the attitude is basically they feel they have invented show business themselves. Oh well, you're old school. And I had to let them know at that point in time, yes, I am old school, but it had to be an old school before a new one. So, take that to heed, and you continue to do what you're doing. God bless you, and I wish you nothing more than more success for you. The industry has changed drastically. I'm the first one to note that. Everything is now computerized. There's nothing basically real anymore. I find it very difficult to even begin to think that a computer has a feeling. And everything is computerized. If you want to change something instrumentally, you can't do it. And if you do it, it sounds like you changed it by
a robot. Exactly.
Exactly. You look for the mistake in the violin section. You look for the mistake the horn might make, but that's a part of a feeling. A computer does not have a feeling.
No, they don't. And I think it's so important that you said that because I do often find that I was trying to explain it to one of my artists, and I'm like, I feel music. I prefer a wall of sound. I play classical piano. There are certain sounds I'm expecting from the vocalist, from the music, from the producer, and the sound quality. And it's not often that you can find it unless you go back and you listen to a standard. Or you go back and you listen to you, or you find Celine or Whitney, like you're gonna lose it. Like it's unfortunately not something that is valued now, like you said, because a lot of these people are very good vocally. It's just the sound that's being regenerated over and over. It's not the sound that, it's what I like.
the reality of it all. I understand totally what you're saying. And, I think if they had an opportunity to walk into a recording studio and they saw us sitting in those seats aside from themselves, a full orchestra and background singers, live musicians recording live, I think it would make a difference in how they approach what they're doing today.
Absolutely. Because even a lot of times you find these people that grew up in the church, they're used to full sound.
That's right.
So
absolutely.
How do you go from that to a studio recording where the beats are generated through computers?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't record with the tracks. There are live folks sitting in the studio with me. Yeah. That's where I was brought up, and that's the only way I would record.
And I want to talk about your recordings because I have to tell you, I learned so much about you this week that I thought, because you can never know everything about everyone, right? But I honestly thought that I had like a PhD in Dionne Warwick, right?
Yeah.
No, I did not. Tell you what I learned. I learned that you have been sampled. There are cover songs that I thought were originated by some people that were actually released by you first that I never knew.
I know. It's so funny. I'll tell you something. You're not the only one. My sons were in my car. We were riding. I don't even know where we were. And I had the radio on. And a song that had been covered by another person came on. And I started singing along with them. And my eldest said, "Mom, you know that song?" I said, "Yeah, why shouldn't I?" "Well, you know you know who that is?" I said, "No, I don't really know who that is, but I do know the song." "Well, why do you know the song?" I said, "Because Mommy recorded it first." What? So you're not the only one.
I was like, I felt like I had stepped into a time warp and it was the outer limits because I was like, nobody told me this. And I called my mother and I told her, like, excuse me, you did not tell me about this time. And
Uh-huh.
there's a few in particular, but I wanted to ask you if you had any personal favorites of songs that have been covered off of her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I think, well, everybody, of course, the first person that comes to mind is Aretha. You know, with "I Say a Little Prayer." I feel Aretha did a magnificent job of making the song her own. She, you know, she did not say, "I'm going to sing it like Dionne Warwick." She said, "I'm singing it like Aretha," and that's what she did. And my favorite covers of anyone who has ever thought about doing anything of mine is Luther. Luther Vandross. I
Mine,
don't know I don't know what to say about him. You know, I love, first of all, Luther was more part of my family than my friend, and he decided to not only cover one song. I think he covered about 5 of my tunes already so
yeah, I
far.
think it was at least five, but then I'm thinking about A House Is Not a Home.
House is Not a Home,
That's the one I'm
yes.
thinking about. And I'm like, what, Luther? You tricked me. And I could not, I couldn't. And the thing about it is, and that's the thing about you and him also, is you're such great vocalists that it can almost, like you said, sound like a completely different song.
Oh
Even
yeah,
regardless to how it's arranged, it's like, this is a completely new song. That's a good cover.
oh yeah. He definitely made it his own. In fact, I told him, as well as Backrack and David, who wrote the song. I told him I just heard the definitive version of "A House Is Not a Home." They said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Have you heard of the Vandross version?" No. I said, "Well, do yourselves a favor." You know, and I'd still to today say that is the definitive version.
It is. It's great. They're both great though. I like yours because I've never heard it before, so it was like almost hearing new music. So I was like, "Ooh, look!" So yes, I do enjoy both. And I wanted to
Uh-huh.
talk about Bert and Hal because, wow,
Yeah.
right now I don't even know. I think that there are so many songs that you guys have done together, and the relationship that you guys must have had to be outstanding because it seems like the composing and the lyrics and the vocals were like a marriage. Did it feel like you guys were
Absolutely.
like in a relationship? You were in a throuple with them?
Oh, yeah, no, we were known in the industry as a triangle marriage that worked. You know, they wrote specifically for me. And in fact, Hal has said on several occasions, he says, when I write a word, I hear Dionne singing it. And the same thing with Bert. He says, I write a melody because I know how far I can stretch her and what she can do. She's, you know, so they depended upon me to bring my ability to each of the songs that they were writing.
That's so perfect and wonderful. So I wanted to ask you like three more questions, so I'll make them lightning round questions.
Okay.
First one is Oprah has a question that I love that I always use. I
Uh-huh.
am living my purpose, fill in the blank.
Well, actually, I'm living my perfect life. I am. You know, I'm enjoying Dionne. I like Dionne. So I have no other choice other than to feel I'm living how I want to live.
I love that.
Hmm.
So the lightning round question is your favorite performing songs, like your top three songs to perform.
Oh my. That's a question I basically honestly cannot answer. And it's only because I treat my songs like my children. And they're all very special to me to perform or to recognize. You know, I just feel that choosing one over another is almost an impossible thing to do. I don't have a favorite child, so I can't have a favorite song.
I have a favorite child. Don't tell them. Um, Bruce, what's your favorite Dionne Warwick song?
That's
My
what
favorite.
friends are for. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it cut off. Yeah, that's what friends are for. I love that song. I used to play it day and night after I met Dionne, and it's kind of a spiritual thing. And I think it really means something. She's a friend, and that's what friends are for. And I hope I give that back as much as she has given me.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate that.
Okay,
I
cool.
love that. Friendship is awesome. So,
Yes.
another thing is you have, someone asked me this question right before our call, and she begged me to ask.
Okay.
I thought it was a little off base, but I'm going to ask because she felt like she really needed it. So I'm going to ask. She said, what can Dion advise for single women in the dating world now?
What can I advise? Well, ooh, let me get that a minute of thought here. I'm finding within the entertainment industry, especially for those who have just, well, maybe have given me 10 years maybe already. Everything seems pretty, I hate saying this, but it's good. That's the way I feel, clonish. Everybody's beginning to try to sound exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming from these companies that they're signed to, saying things like, oh, I want you to sound like, and I want you to look like, and I want you to be like, and I want you to move like, and I want you to talk like. And these kids are taking it seriously.
They
that
are.
they're walking the same kind of walk that this person that they're being told to imitate, because that's exactly what it is, an imitation.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you just be who you are?
Exactly.
Why can't you, I have a song that says, accept me for what I am, accept me for the things that I do.
Also
Don't make
sampled.
me over. Okay.
Another song that was also sampled.
Don't make me over.
Yeah, very.
I love that song, and I love that the theme too, because you said something before that question that was really important. You said, I love Dion. Like that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
such a simple thing that is so hard for a lot of people. And it's extremely necessary too.
Absolutely. It should not be a difficult thing to do. You are the only you have.
Exactly. There is no other option. That's it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like my mother just said, this is not a rehearsal, okay?
That's right.
I love that. So let's really quickly, you have gone from vinyl record
Yep.
to cassette tape.
Yep.
Oh, wait, to 8 tracks.
8-track. Then
Cassette tape.
Yep.
Then CDs.
Yep.
And now streaming platforms.
Yeah, how about that? I don't know anything about any of them. I don't, I am literally surprised that we're doing what we're able to do right now. This Zoom stuff. It's like technology is amazing. It's something we desperately need, of course. However, I still feel, and I will all feel, I hate the computer, I really do, but it's a necessary evil. I feel that we're running past ourselves. I don't think we've taken enough time to truly understand these electronic things that have been thrust into our lives. I think we really need to take time to understand it, to perfect it within our own realm of knowledge, and then move on to the next thing. But by the time you buy one computer, that computer is out of style.
Yeah, it's already dead.
So you have to go and get another one. That's what I'm saying. We're running past ourselves. We're not giving ourselves enough time to absorb all this knowledge that's being thrust at us. I tell my sons, they bought me my first computer. It sat in the box for 2 years. They came to visit me and they saw the box. They said, oh, it got here. I said, it's been here. How long has it been here, Mommy? It's been here a couple of years. Oh, what? Have you not opened it? I said, no. I said, they opened it up for me and they sat it in front of my face. He said, okay, turn it on and I'll show you how to use it. I said, well, how do you turn it on? Listen, pick up a phone and call me. or write me a note.
Call. Like, they don't do that anymore, Miss
Yeah,
Dion.
there's no
Text messages
communication
that
at
says that is a complete interaction. Like, I'm sorry, can you just call me, please?
communicate. I sat in an airport. This is a very brief story. Sat in the airport next to two young ladies that were sitting less than 3 feet apart. They were busy, just after they're getting carpal tunnel with their fingers, just texting stuff. And I was curious enough to ask. I said, "What are you doing?" And a young lady said, "Oh, I'm texting." I said, "You're texting?" I said, "What is that?" She said, "I'm sending a message to my friend." I said, "Oh, wait, well, where's your friend?" She said, "Sitting right there." They were texting each other instead of talking to each other. Yeah, I mean, it's so silly. I mean, I, I, I threatened my office. I said, if I get another email or text message on my phone from you, I'm taking the computers and the phones out of everybody's hands. You will call me, or you will write to me.
I would die. Like, I feel, and unfortunately, because of my age, I am classified as a millennial, which feels absurd to me because, like, I don't understand those people because
Right.
the generation is so wide. Like, my nephew and I are actually in the same generation. I don't understand their conversations, even
I know.
in text messages. I don't know what they're saying. So it's very odd. And I can imagine it just feeling like it almost feels like an Outer Limits episode or something that was on the
Yeah, the Twilight Zone.
because I remember distinctively them having phone watches on the Twilight Zone. Like, I remember that happening, and now people are literally doing this and talking to themselves
I know.
on their phone, on their watch.
On their phone and their wrist. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy time.
And what you said that stuck out to me that I think is really important is you said we're almost jumping ahead of ourselves, but we haven't even got to what the world needs now is love yet. Like, we're still trying to get to the basics here, and we're just moving so far away from that. It is so discouraging, I think.
Oh, let me tell you something. You know, my grandfather, who was a minister, and I miss terribly, he is so wise. But, you know, he explained that love is the most important thing anyone can have.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand what love is. Love is God.
Absolutely.
We are missing so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not sitting in people's lives the way it should.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all of us were brought up at one time or another.
Absolutely.
To know God.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So what happened? What happened?
Listen, I wrote so many think pieces about it. I'm going to send them all to you guys. I have like an 18-point spectrum list to tell you what happened, but a lot of it is a lack of self-love too.
Absolutely.
Because when people don't love themselves, they behave.
Yeah, a little erratic.
Everyone else. I think I could talk to you guys all day, and I don't want to keep you. But last thing before we go, Maya Angelou. We have to bring in Maya Angelou if we're going to bring in Oprah. She told Oprah that Oprah did not know what her legacy would be because her legacy is based on her impact on other people.
Mm-hmm.
And your experience, what do you think your most valuable legacy is going to be to the generations before us and behind us? What do you think your legacy is?
The only thing that comes immediately to mind about me is my honesty. I am who I am. I say what I feel. In fact, I'm known amongst my friends that they will let anybody know. If you want to ask Dion, let me tell you, unless you want to actually hear the truth, do not ask her. Or, but that's just me.
I can't wait till I get to that point because now I actually still have to put out disclaimers. Please explain what way you would like me to provide the rest of this conversation. Would you like me to let you vent? Would you like me to tell you what I think? or do you want the truth?
Absolutely the truth.
If I don't do that, somebody cries.
Absolutely. You know, I want the truth all of the
All
time.
the time.
You
I
know,
want
and
the
then
truth
there's
all
a
the time.
value to that. There is value to that. You know, there are things that you may not even be aware of. You know, that you can correct or at least or enhance. You know, no. You know, so give me the truth.
Exactly.
My grandfather told me because I practice that. You know, he said always. He said, "Listen, why tell a lie when the truth is available?" You know. So I have no problem in telling the truth, and I'm afraid of liars. I'm afraid of them. I really am. You know, he told me a long time ago, a liar will steal from you,
Yeah, that's
and
what
a
my mom used to
thief
say.
and a thief will kill you.
Mm.
So, you know, hey, if the lie leads to becoming a thief, then of course I'm gonna be afraid of you.
Exactly.
You know, it just doesn't make sense to not be, again, here we are, who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, I want to be somebody else. I don't want to be nobody else. I like me, like I said.
No point of being anyone else at all.
That's it. Exactly.
I thank you both for sitting to talk to me and making this so easy because I just knew I was going to fumble all over myself today.
Just a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's about.
Yes, and everybody that's watching, you can go to www.wddesigns.lab with an S.
Yes.
.com
There
to
you go.
look into getting some consulting from these guys as far as interior design, hiring them on, getting your dream situated and feng shui properly. You are welcome to connect with there.
Let me also say, you know, most people, in fact, I've had it said to me, "Oh, you do interior design?" Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It has to be very, very expensive. I said, "No, it's not. We have, you have something called a budget. You know what you can spend. I mean, it's not going to be $3.12.
It's not going to be IKEA prices.
No, afraid not. Afraid not. But it's something that, of course, I feel is quite affordable. And so, you know, don't be afraid. You'll be seeing some very high-end designs when you go to the site, because that's the customers that we worked with had that kind of funds to
Because you have very
budget.
high-end friends, the both of you.
Well, we have that, and we also have some that are not. You know, so
Hey, I mean, that's true. I love that. So, I keep saying one last thing, but I watched the documentary you were in yesterday. It
yeah.
was about Harry Belafonte's week
Oh, sit
on
in.
the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I hate that there wasn't any footage because we didn't even get to see you perform
I
because
know.
they dubbed over the tape. That
I
I
know.
don't even understand how that's a thing. Like I don't understand NBC's.
Well, yes, you do understand. You understand. I'm not gonna let you go
It's
there.
suspicious. Let's just say that.
Yes.
But yeah.
But I'm glad people got a chance to see it, you know, see what he did do. And that last panel that he had with Martin Luther King, I mean, it was like, oh my God, it's so brilliant. So very, very brilliant.
It's so
And it gave a lot of people a lot of things to think about too.
yeah. I think you guys, I don't even like to say your generation because that's not fair to me. I don't know what that means really. But your generation has continued to feed us and educate us, even in present day, on things that we need to be aware of and things to look out for. And that's holistic. It goes from even just listening to music that was released in the 50s and 60s or 70s. You can, if you have time, and I'm talking to the audience now, if you allow yourself to listen, just be quiet and listen and put your phone down, you will learn so much from these wonderful people. It's just like constant presence. You're getting present all the time.
Exactly. You know, I feel so privileged to be standing on the shoulders of those who mentored me, the absolute icons of our industry.
Mhm.
And they embraced me, and I followed their lead. And I feel that my shoulders are now getting strong enough to hold people. So,
That's refreshing to
hop,
hear.
hop on. I got a lot to tell you.
That's wonderful. Well, if you ever decide that you guys, either one of you, want to talk to me about any more stuff, I have 7.
All right, you got it.
Sounds like a deal.
Thank you again, you guys, for talking.
Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you. You take
Bye-bye.
good care.
Nice
Stay
meeting you.
safe.
All right. You too.
Bye.
Bye. See.
Bye.